Hello, everybody, and welcome to Curtis's Podcast Network. I'm the host of the channel, Curtis Brown, and this is We Are Texans Wednesday, number 18, live, coming at you here on Wednesday evening. I was planning on trying to do one a little earlier, but had some stuff come up, big plans or whatever, and yeah, so here we are. We're going to be talking about a couple of the workouts that the team recently had. Titus Howard's extension, and potentially some free agents we could add. And then we'll wrap it up with a little bit of Would You Rather. I'd like to go ahead and get everybody to go ahead and like and subscribe if you're not already. Go ahead and however you feel about tonight's podcast, uh, let me hear about it in the comments. If you've got anything to say about it at all, I'd love to hear it. First on the docket, let's talk about Eric Tomlinson, who was signed to I believe probably pretty close to a vet minimum, tight end. He's been bouncing around from team to team, and now he's on the Texans at least going into training camp. I mean, we didn't necessarily have the largest tight end room, and he is a bigger guy. So maybe he can kind of show some of these smaller guys technique or something. I don't know, but we'll see. Another person that was brought in to work out was wide receiver Jalen Hurd. And for those in the Nashville area, you might remember him, former state champion at Beach High School, and somebody I played against as a senior when he was a sophomore. Um, this man is 6'5 ish, 230, big body receiver. In high school, he was a running back and nobody could tackle him. He was an absolute unit on the field. Uh, Injuries have derailed this man's career. If this man could stay healthy, he might be something. But as of right now, Jalen Hurd is just another guy in the system, kind of following a little bit in the Josh Malone steps there. Uh, Josh Malone is also from the same area as as I am. There was actually a newspaper clipping, and I should try to find it and post it later, of the three of us, Malone, Jalen, and myself, being players of the week. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to find that. But yeah, so we're all from the same stomping grounds. And number one, it's just exciting to see somebody that I played with still out there, getting workouts and getting chances. That's the pinnacle. Even if you don't get signed, you are doing things that a fraction of the population is able to do. Take take some sort of solace in that, and understand that if you can put together some decent seasons, you'll be finding yourself on a roster. Um, Titus Howard got a pretty big extension today, 3 years, 56 million, I think. The 27-year-old tackle coming into this year would get him to his age 30 season. I I know a lot of people really wanted this deal to get done. I know a lot of people are really high on Titus Howard, that maybe he's putting it all together. But I just want to poke the bear. I want to play devil's advocate. What if Titus Howard's season last year wasn't necessarily a reflection exclusively based on his production? I know that when I was a coach and when I was scheming up, defense, uh, defensive plays, that we would find the weakness on the offensive line and we would exploit it, all but leaving the strong points of the offensive line alone. And I think on several levels, that's what happened to Titus Howard last year. Titus Howard and Laramie Tunsil were far and away the best parts of the offensive line, while AJ Can, Kenyon Green, and whoever was playing center, Scott Quesenberry, Justin Britt, um, while they were just trying to figure it out. And as a coach, when you're exploiting those things and you're basically just leaving guys alone, that kind of doesn't not affect that person's stat line. That guy is going to have stats that basically reflect what he's done. And if he's not being asked to do a lot and the blitzes aren't coming directly at him, his numbers aren't going to be that bad. I wonder exactly what the percentage is of, blitz plays at him versus the interior of the offensive line. I know that, the grades on play typically are more about the individual, but as a unit, the offensive line was horrible last year. I would have been a little bit more hesitant to give him that kind of deal. That's what the Texans chose to do. That's what they're going to do. Casario made his move. And at least for the next 3 years, the left and right tackle spot are solidified, barring injury. And hopefully, this means that he is continuing to improve, continuing to elevate his game, and making each season following this year a complete and whole justification for this contract. Which brings me to my next point. There are some decent free agents still available. Not necessarily on the offensive line that I'm trying to go for. Um, More about, let me see if I can find it. So there's a pretty good list of free agents here. Dalvin Cook, Julio, Melvin Ingram, Carson Wentz, Jarvis Landry, Taylor Lewan, Will Compton, DJ Fluker, Yannick Ngakwe, Zeke Elliott, Matt Ryan, Eric Ebron, Eli Apple, Kareem Hunt, Quan Alexander, Kenny Galladay, Matt Ioannidis, Leonard Fournette, Casey Hayward, Ndamukong Suh, Jadeveon Clowney, Carlos Dunlap, Mercedes Lewis, Ronald Darby, George Fant, Logan Ryan, John Johnson, Ben Jones, Kyle Van Noy, Robert Quinn, Zach Cunningham, Dalton Risner, Shelby Harris, T.Y. Hilton, Trey Flowers, Justin Pugh, Cameron Brake, Kenyon Drake, Miles Jack, Duron Harmon, Roger Saffold, Anthony Barr, Akeem Hicks, Ronnie Harrison, AJ Cann, Justin Houston, Robbie Gold, Max Williams, Daryl Henderson, Byron Jones, Gabe Jackson, Andrew Adams, Eric Fisher, Teddy Bridgewater, and N'Keal Harry. Of that list, there's obviously quite a few veteran names that are appealing, and they would definitely either be an upgrade or at least the veteran leadership in the room. And we could use some of that. The ones I think we should get: Julio, Akeem Hicks, and Jadeveon Clowney. I think you should bring back Clowney because we spent that first overall pick on him. Didn't super turn out well. We put him in a position to play an outside linebacker in a 3-4, where he was asked to do things he didn't do in college. His best years since leaving Houston have been in a 4-3 system, and I think that it would just flatter the way that he's meant to play the game. Akeem Hicks is a 32, 33-year-old. I apologize. 32, 33-year-old defensive juggernaut in the front line. He is a big, big man at like roughly 6'4", 325 pounds, strong as an ox. A 1-year rental on him. You pair him with Sheldon Rankins, and then you also have Malik Collins. You're looking at a defensive line that is not going to be allowing a lot of run yards. And that's something that this defense has not been able to stop at all lately. And that would greatly help. And then you bring in a veteran wide receiver like Julio, and he's going to mentor some of these younger guys, in theory, and be able to give you more depth at the position and give you a guy whose body type is not a slot receiver. You have a couple of those with Nico Collins and Noah Brown, but even still, it's not like either one of those guys have produced on any sort of meaningful level. I think that there are some free agents out here that we should kick the tires on, and it would definitely behoove the team to do so. But beyond those three, I mean, a lot of them are very injury prone or very, very old. And I don't know exactly how much that would benefit us. Jonathan Joseph has been announced as the secondary coach for the Houston Texans, which is going to be dope. Um, so congratulations to Jonathan Joseph on that. Um, I really don't have much of anything else. When you don't really have anyone else to bounce off of, it kind of goes by pretty quickly. So let's get into some would you rather, and we'll wrap this mother up. Um, would you rather? Hmm. Would you rather be killed by a giant spider or be killed by a great white shark? Shark's going to bite you multiple times, chomp you in half. Spider's going to suck you dry like a like you're trying to get that last milkshake. That's it, but it's a giant spider, so it's just going to be like a and you're done. Um, the only reason spiders don't taste like crab, they don't eat their food whole. Crabs do. That actually makes the muscle tissue inside of their body not goopy when you crush it. Um, so that's really the main difference in taste there, which is kind of weird to think about. Spiders and crabs being so closely related in the gene pool. They're basically crabs are basically just, you know, pokey spiders, jabby, clampy spiders. And some of them, like the what was it? There's like an Australian crab that has like it just like can break through golf clubs like nothing. Would you rather have 70 chameleons, 70 baby chameleons, or 70 baby chameleons, or 70 frogs? Uh, I feel like chameleons would be harder to find. I mean, then, like you'd be like, oh, they're everywhere, but like they'd blend in, and then you're like, where'd they go? Huh? Chameleons all the way. That'd just be a challenge. Like you just let it loose in your house, and then like it's gone. I actually had a anyway. Um, would you rather tequila or vodka? No, tequila or whiskey. We're not a lot of women watch these, so no, not vodka. I'm gonna go with tequila. Tequila is the drink of choice. It's amazing. It's S tier. Um, trying to think here. Maybe this will be the last would you rather here, but would you rather have a podcast channel where the people stay out of politics or one where they don't? And for me, it's one where they stay out of it. You're not coming to me for any sort of political advice, and that's probably for the best because I know 98% of us don't agree on that. Uh, so I I do my best to keep us all of us here on the channel from saying stuff that might be incendiary on one aisle or the other. We're here to entertain, we're here to talk about football, and even when we're not on the channel, our political statements, if we can call it that, are minimal at best. And I'm going to be the first to tell you that mine haven't always been that way, but um, for you guys, I'm not trying to be the person who's, you know, catering to the lowest common denominator politically. I just want you guys to like us because we're a good show. And if we're not, you know, then we can work on it. It's where the comments section comes in. You guys can tell me whatever the hell you think. I I don't know. I just feel like there's not really a need in this world of, anybody can say anything and be canceled in a moment. There's no room right now for anybody of my opinion to and my standing to just start spouting off nonsense. And I know that some of the other creators don't do that. That's their thing. I'm not going to do that. Respectfully. It's just not what you're here for. I hope that everybody understands and now gets why we don't get political. Um, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. Hit the like and subscribe buttons and be good people.